The voice.
I think it pleases me most is a clean sheet.
The phrases.
Honest, hard-working bunch of boys.
Welcome back to Scottish Football, Yogi Hughes. Right lads, welcome back to another video, and this one is clearly going to be talking about John Yogi Hughes making an return to Scottish football at Ross County after the sacking of Stuart Kettlewell, or it was a resignation in a way, a kind of mutual parting of the ways between Stuart Kettlewell and Ross County. Stuart Kettlewell, regarded as Mr. Ross County, came out after a recent defeat at home to Hamilton. Ultimately, that has seen Stuart Kettlewell leave his post as Ross County manager. We all know this though. John Hughes has then since come in. It was quite a surprise kind of appointment. Obviously, every time a Scottish football manager's post comes round, there is the usual names that's bandied about. And John Hughes has been one of those that has been claimed at every single level of Scottish football, apart from maybe League 2 and below, to being a contender for those type of jobs. When the Partick Thistle post was available, John Hughes was probably mentioned, Falkirk, every single team in the Championship at one point, and then also in the Premiership, kind of your lower end Premiership teams mainly. However, John Hughes has now found himself pitching up at Ross County, and it wasn't an easy task to go in there and change things and try and get it turning round, because Ross County were on a terrible run of form, and yes, they've got some decent players in their books, but ultimately the team wasn't performing to a level that was anywhere near Premiership worthy, and it is sometimes hard to get form going when a team's been getting battered pillar to post pretty much every week in terms of results anyway, not picking up wins and barely scoring any goals and conceding a hell of a lot. However, we have since seen, since John Hughes has come into the post at Ross County, a little bit of a rejuvenation, especially in the most recent game, of course, against Hibs. And you can't give enough praise to John Hughes here and the Ross County team, to be fair, because they've gone out on the pitch and they've simply played Hibs at a game that Hibs couldn't get to the level that Ross County were at. They couldn't bring themselves to play at a level to win the game. Ross County kept a clean sheet for probably one of the first times this season. I don't think that's happened many times, maybe since that early run at the start of the season that's seen them pick up the points they pretty much have at this point in the league. But ultimately, that win just recently away at Hibs, you cannot say that that's not going to have an impact positively on Ross County as a club, as a team, and on John Hughes in his return into Scottish football management. Obviously, as I said, he's been highly thought of for a number of years, even after the whole debacle with Raith Rovers and the way that they went down into League One initially. Like, John Hughes has always been one of those kind of likeable characters. It does depend on who you are and who you support. I was kind of on the fence with him a bit. I didn't really rate him as a manager when he was at Raith Rovers, but when you look back on his career and you look back on interviews that he's done, and I don't know, he just brings that character that we laud people like Dick Campbell for having. And I don't know, I think John Hughes is just a positive influence in Scottish football, and one of the ones that we need to keep a hold of in our game to have that kind of grounding, I suppose. You've got your high echelon managers such as Steven Gerrard, in terms of the name anyway. You've got high echelon managers like that, and Neil Lennon to an extent, of course, Stephen Robinson, who's just left his post at Motherwell, but a very good manager and highly thought of. But then you've got John Hughes, who, yes, highly thought of, and I'm not disrespecting the guy in any way here, but he brings that character that allows you to remember that you're watching Scottish football here, and that is why we love Scottish football, because he comes out with such phrases that, in the accent that he says them in, it's just lovely to hear in a kind of press conference, after match interview, pre-match, whatever it may be. And just to hear him back out and getting results on the pitch, it really is quite pleasing actually. It was something that I didn't really think I'd see in 2020, but it is the comeback we needed to see at the end of the year, and I don't think we all quite realised just how pleasing it would be to see John Hughes back in Scottish football. Obviously, earlier on we spoke about John Hughes' kind of wee stint at Raith Rovers, where he obviously came in a bit behind the circumstances, I suppose, and he ended up getting them relegated, of course. But you've got to look at it in a flip side as well, because he had very successful stints at the likes of Inverness, where he obviously won a domestic competition. And for an Inverness side to win any competition, you've got to give a man credit for doing that in his managerial career. And me especially, obviously it was the cup final where Inverness played Falkirk, and I was not wanting Falkirk to win that one, so to see Inverness come out on top on that day, it made players such as James Vincent sort of Dunfermline cult heroes at the time, but at the end of the day, he was the man to manage that team, and it proves his ability. It proves that he's got the ability to come in and have an impact on players in a mental side of things, in a management side of things, coaching, and he's obviously got the experience in the game to come and elevate players such as the likes of Harry Payton, who scored the other day, and Ollie Shaw, who also scored and assisted at his ex-club Hibs. A lot of Hibs fans have actually been criticising that because obviously Leanne Dempster once came out and said that Ollie Shaw was one of the best young talents in Europe. They then sold him to Ross County, and now he's come back and got an assist and a goal and a 2-0 win at Easter Road. So it's ups and downs in football, and when you make decisions like that and you say things that are going to come back to haunt you. However, John Hughes, what a man. He seems to have come in and really had a positive impact on that Ross County squad. Now, it's obviously yet to be seen if he's really going to keep them up this season and keep them as a Premiership club for the foreseeable future. Ross County fans will be hoping so. John Hughes will be hoping so. And personally for me, I hope so too, because if he does go down with them, yes, he may be kept on for the Championship, but he'll be under pressure to bring Ross County straight back up. I hope he can keep them in the division and we can see John Hughes around for some time yet, because he brings good content to Scottish football, and that is something that we all need a hell of a lot more of. We need good content, fun stuff to watch, entertaining press conferences, and just a lovable character around in the Scottish Premiership once more. So I've got to say well done to John Hughes coming back into Scottish football. As I said, the comeback we never knew we needed at the end of 2020, but I'm delighted that it's happened. So all the best to John Hughes, Ross County, and all involved up there in the Highlands. And that's it for this video, guys. Cheers for watching. If you did enjoy it, please give it a like. Comment down below your thoughts on John Hughes coming back, the result, obviously, away at Hibs, and will it propel Ross County into safety this season? Subscribe for more of this type of content, and until our next video, I'll see you then. Cheers, guys.